Okay, good morning, hello and welcome to today's COVID-19 briefing for international students here at the University of Hertfordshire. I'm your host today, I'm Brad Johnson. I'm one of the regional managers here at the University of Hertfordshire. Today, before we begin, please do note the panel will be not taking your questions today from Facebook, but our team will do our best to answer any questions today, and our team will be typing answers there. But we're going to be covering today's frequently asked questions of the ones we've been receiving. Please welcome me in introducing today's panel, Stuart Smith, who's the Director of International here at the University of Hertfordshire, Shai Azmir, who's the Head of International Recruitment here at the University of Hertfordshire, and Naomi Banton, who's the Housing Manager for College Lane within our Dean of Students office here at the university. Much of today's briefing is about the new rules, safety on campus, and preparing to commence your study with us at Herts. In the UK, the government have introduced the Hands, Face, Space campaign, which you'll see when you arrive. This follows the principles of washing your hands, wearing a face covering, and keeping your distance from those outside your household. These simple steps will help stop the spread of coronavirus and keep us safe, both on campus and off campus. So let's begin. So the first question we've got today is for Stuart Smith. So Stuart, there's been an increase in the cases in the UK at the moment. What does this mean for the safety of students on campus?
Thanks, Brad, and nice to meet everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. I think to answer your question, Brad, I think although the UK has seen an increase over the past few weeks in terms of the number of cases, it's important to remember that the number of serious cases as well as hospital admissions has not increased at the same rate as it did in March or April 2020. I think it's important to remember that the UK with the NHS has one of the best health services in the world, and we're prepared to deal with the increase in the number of patients in hospitals in the UK should that be a follow-on effect. And the UK government has invested a significant amount of money in equipment, medication and personal protective equipment to ensure that the NHS can cope, that staff remain safe and that patients are well looked after and cared for should there be a continual increase in cases in the UK. It is also worth noting that the increase in cases is in part due to the high volume of testing that's happening in the UK. The UK is identifying asymptomatic cases, which does make up a large proportion of cases at this point. And these would have gone undetected if it wasn't for the large amount of testing that was happening within the UK. Although the number and the increase is concerning, it is worth remembering that we have got policies and procedures in place in the UK, particularly around self-isolating, which does break the chain of infection and does help to reduce the spread. And there are a wide range of measures in place to ensure that people are protected and that they follow these particular rules. In the event of an outbreak on campus, the university has an extensive plan in place to ensure the university remains a safe learning and living environment for people who are both studying and living on campus. The plan has been developed with Public Health England and Hertfordshire County Council, and we're very confident it is as comprehensive as possible and that we're well prepared for this eventuality.
Thank you very much, Stuart, for that. That was a really informative answer. So we started to talk about some of the things we touched on there about making the campus safer, but this one's for Shayaz. What changes have we made specifically to make the campus a safer place for students to study?
Hi, Brad. Thank you very much for the question. So the university has used government guidelines to make changes across the campus to ensure we are a safe environment for all of our students and staff alike. These changes will include adapting our spaces. So we've adapted our teaching, learning and social spaces so you can follow social distancing guidance and keep safe. For example, we have introduced social distancing signage, improved ventilation, implemented two-way navigation systems, installed more hand sanitizers and added protective screens in reception areas. We've also included free reusable face coverings. We'll provide every student and member of staff with a reusable and washable university face covering. Students and staff will be required to wear face coverings when in a room for 15 minutes or longer, or where it is not possible to maintain a distance of 2 meters. If you're not able to wear a face covering, the university has an exemption scheme and will provide more information about this through our Equalities Office. We've also got enhanced cleaning across campus. So we've stepped up our campus-wide cleaning across all the university buildings, including teaching spaces and accommodation, with a focus on key touch points such as door handles, stair rails, and lift buttons. Our enhanced cleaning regime includes daily cleaning every weekday, additional hand sanitizers, public health information, and posters. On-campus testing. So we've got on-campus testing to support our NHS. The university is hosting a COVID-19 mobile testing unit on the edge of our campus lane, on the edge of our College Lane campus in September. The unit will be available for pre-booked appointments. Students, staff, and members of the public who are showing symptoms of COVID-19 will be able to get tested by booking in advance at gov.uk/get-coronavirus-test. That link will be available separately for those of you who haven't been able to jot it down. In addition to the above, there are simple steps you can take to help reduce the risk of transmission. This is also part of the government guidance, so which is washing your hands regularly for 20 seconds or more, keeping a minimum of 1 meter distance with 2 meters when possible, and wearing a face covering in all outdoor public spaces, public transport and taxis, as well as on campus. We've prepared a short video explaining more about the changes we've made to campus preparing for your return.
The world may have changed, but our commitment to our students remains the same. No matter who you are or what you want to achieve, we will set you on a path to reach your goals. To adapt to the circumstances we're all now living in, we've made some changes for the new academic year. But don't worry, we're ready to provide high quality, gold-rated teaching to give you the best possible learning experience this September. We are proud of our diverse student community and have built our plans around your needs and our commitment to equality, diversity and inclusion at Herts. All of our buildings and most of our facilities will be open, including our 2 learning resources centres. As a campus-based university, our emphasis on face-to-face teaching will continue. We will run a full timetable and maintain contact hours for all our courses, and where we know we can do it safely, we'll be teaching in person. Many of our courses are taught through small groups, such as seminars, lab classes and tutorials, and we'll continue to teach these face-to-face, but it might feel a little different. You'll be sitting further apart, but when in a room for more than 15 minutes, where it's not possible to maintain a distance of 2 meters, you'll be required to wear face coverings. In some cases, depending on what you are studying, you will also wear personal protective equipment. We understand this is a big change, so we'll be providing detailed information on our website. When we can't all be together in a room, we will use the latest technology to deliver high quality teaching through live interactive lectures, pre-recorded content and guided learning. Things around campus will look a little different too. You will see social distancing signage and different classroom layouts. Like you, some of your lecturers may wear face coverings or personal protective equipment. As you walk around campus, we'll have 2-way navigation systems and protective screens at reception areas, like many shops on the high street. We've stepped up our campus-wide cleaning too. You'll see more hand sanitizer stations across the university. We know that university is about having amazing experiences, and many of you are looking forward to social activities, getting involved with sport, clubs, societies and more. We are carefully planning these to ensure these experiences are available to you while keeping you safe. As government guidelines change, we will be ready to adapt. So whether you're joining us for the first time or coming back to us, you are at the heart of our plans. There is a place like home. It's called Herts, and we can't wait to see you in September.
And thank you very much for that. And just some context there. Obviously, for our international students who can join us up till the 26th of October, we look forward to welcoming you in both September and October for our semester A intake. So we've just talked a little bit about the changes we've made there to campus, and one brand new change that we've made is implementing a track and trace system. So the university's implemented their own version alongside the UK government and the NHS's one. So Stuart, this one's for you. What is the university's track and trace system? How will it work? And also what will it be used for on campus? Thank you.
Great, thanks, Brad. So yes, as a university, we have introduced track and trace as a range of measures that we've introduced on campus to try and prevent the spread. Students, staff and visitors will need to check in order to keep everyone safe. The way it works is that each time you enter a room on campus for 15 minutes or more, you scan the QR code that's on the poster with your smartphone camera, or visit the track.hearts.ac.uk website and complete the short form to check in. If you scan the QR code and are logged in to the Hearts mobile app on your smartphone, you'll be asked to open the app and will not be required to complete the track and trace form. If you don't have the app, you'll be directed to the track.hearts.ac.uk website. Basically, you'll then be notified if you have been exposed to someone who is reported as having COVID-19, and you'll be given advice on what to do next. And what we've done as a university is have something that's very targeted to specific rooms, specific areas of the university, so the information is incredibly targeted to your own activity on campus. This system is a fantastic development, something I think we're incredibly proud of, as it means that we have the ability to track cases on campus if they do arise, and we can identify anyone who's been in contact with someone who has had COVID-19, again, should that eventuality happen.
And obviously, alongside the universities one, the UK government has also launched their own track and trace system that's available for all people in the UK. So please watch this short video by the UK government about the importance of downloading the UK's track and trace app.
The NHS COVID-19 app is a vital part in the fight against coronavirus. Now, based on Apple and Google's privacy-preserving technology, the app will help us safely live our lives, protecting you and others. If your postcode district becomes high risk, the app will let you know and give you advice on what action to take. And if you come into close contact with another user who reports a positive test result, the app will send you an anonymous alert. A built-in QR scanner lets you check into venues quickly and easily. You can check your symptoms in the app, and if they suggest you may have coronavirus, the app is an easy way to get tested. Any data shared with the app is held on your phone. Nobody will know who or where you are. You can delete the app and all data at any time. The new NHS COVID-19 app is the fastest way to see if you're at risk from the virus. The faster you know, the quicker you can alert and protect your loved ones. Download it today.
And I think we'd encourage all students to download that app when they get to the UK. It's similar to the other ones that are available around the world. So it really does help. And I believe it's already been downloaded 10 million times in the UK, and it only launched on Thursday. So make sure that's one to download alongside the university's app. So my next question is for Naomi, who's one of our housing managers here at the University of Hertfordshire in our fantastic Dean of Students team. Is it safe to live on campus? What changes have been made to our campus accommodation to make it safe? And what support is available for students who are required to maybe quarantine or self-isolate throughout the year, as we've seen recently on the news in the UK?
Okay, hi, thank you for the question. And yes, the campus is a safe place to live. Over the summer, we've worked very hard with Public Health England, local health and safety advisors, and taken the guidance from the sector to make the university as safe as possible for all of our community. And we know that many students coming from abroad will need to quarantine for 14 days upon arrival. Likewise, if you're informed by NHS Track and Trace that you've been contacted by or been in contact with an individual with coronavirus, then you must self-isolate for 14 days and follow the latest NHS guidance. Failure to do this could lead to fines and enforcements from the police, as this is actually a law in the UK and it's not just guidance. We have a dedicated 24/7 team of student support officers and resident assistants that work on both of the campuses, and they're responsible for the welfare and pastoral care of the students and also for the discipline as well. Although more of this may be a little bit remote, we will have face-to-face visits where possible. We've prepared a short video explaining more about the changes that have been made to our accommodation at the university.
You might be wondering how living on campus will work when the new term starts, with the current situation and the need for social distancing. Whether you're a new or returning student, you can expect to find a fun, friendly and safe place to live on campus. Things might feel a little different, but a lot of things will stay the same. We have award-winning accommodation with 4,500 bedrooms to offer on both our campuses, and that hasn't changed this year. You can still choose from single ensuite, townhouses and studios, the perfect space to give you the best university experience, and they're all only a short walk away from your campus facilities. All our rooms have Wi-Fi too, so whether you're studying online, catching up with your favourite Netflix series or video calling home, getting online is quick and easy. When you arrive on campus, there'll be some signs around the halls helping you get around safely. Extra cleaning will be happening and hand sanitizer will be available in all our shared spaces. Moving into your accommodation will be organised by time slots, and we will send you some clear instructions about what you need to do to move into your new home ahead of time. Living on campus gives you a great opportunity to socialise, even in the current climate. Similar to your current household bubbles, your housemates will become your new community, so you can get to know each other and get involved with some of our events. We have been busy planning a programme of activities that keep you safe, but ensure that you don't miss out on the fun, social aspect of starting university. As always, there'll be 24/7 support and security available to you, in person and online. From our resident assistants who live on campus to our university police teams, if you have any concerns, there is always support nearby. So whether you're joining us for the first time or coming back to us, we're ready for you with great accommodation, gold standard teaching and learning, and amazing experiences. And a quick thanks in advance to you, our students, following the new health and safety guidelines and adapting to the current changes we've put in place to protect you and the wider university community. Remember, there is a place like home at Herts, and we can't wait to see you.
And obviously, we know that a lot of our students do choose to live on campus with us, but actually, quite a lot of our students also do decide to live off campus. I suppose my question, Naomi, for you again is, what support is available for students who do choose to live off campus, both during the quarantine period and isolation periods, but also just in general during term time?
Okay, so support is available off campus for students, although this is more limited than the support on campus. We have an off-campus specialist member of staff in the Dean of Students office who supports students in the Welwyn Hatfield area. It's important to remember that we strongly advise that you live within the on-campus accommodation or within Welwyn Hatfield area, as we are unable to actually support you if you live outside this area. As always, you can access remote support via StudyNet, Canvas and our websites. However, personal support and potential drop-ins are not possible. We have produced a guide on our website for living off of campus. However, you should try to live in Hatfield during your studies if you can. Additionally, if you need any help with your off-campus accommodation, support is available from the University of Hertfordshire Student Union and other local services as well. These services are available on websites in the off-campus accommodation section. If you've yet to find off-campus accommodation, it's important that you do so, and you do so very, very soon. Any off-campus accommodation you do choose, however, we advise that it's through our PAL accredited landlord. This scheme has been created in partnership between the University of Hertfordshire and Welwyn Hatfield Borough Council. It's a voluntary scheme, and it recognises landlords and letting agents who provide safe and well-maintained private accommodation. The university only recommends PAL accredited properties to students, as these landlords and letting agents are adhering to a specific code of practice, and we want to ensure our students find good quality homes within our borough. Now here is another video that we prepared about support that's offered to students on and off of campus.
Welcome to the University of Hertfordshire. We're really looking forward to welcoming you back to our campuses over the next academic year. In the meantime, we've created this short video to highlight key agencies who work together in partnership to ensure your safety and well-being on and off campus.
I'm PCSO Carl Donovan, and I'm one of your designated officers from the Welwyn Hatfield Safer Neighbourhood team. It's my team's job to ensure that the campuses are a safe place for you to live and study. You might see us out on patrol or at various events around campus. Don't be afraid to come and say hello. To keep in touch, you can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at Herts Uni Police. You can also visit our website, which has lots of crime prevention advice.
Hi, I'm Emma and I work at the University of Hertfordshire within the Dean of Students Office. We provide a broad variety of student support services to all students, whether you live on or off campus. We also work jointly with Welwyn Hatfield Community Safety Partnership to promote safe and well-maintained accommodation to students living off campus. If you would like further information about support services available to you at the University of Hertfordshire, please visit Ask Herts online.
Hi, I'm Jeanette and I'm an Environmental Health Officer at Welwyn Hatfield Borough Council. We deal with many things. We advise and reinforce on such things as food safety, health and safety, pollution and public health. But one of the main things we deal with is noise complaints. Now, I know I don't look old enough to have kids at university, but I do, and I know they like to party. But what I'd like to say to you today is just be mindful about your neighbours. If you're having a party, don't party too hard. We do have an out-of-hours noise response service and we will come and knock on doors at night to tell you to be quiet. Or you might be being disturbed by noise, so please just give us a call.
Hi, my name is Petrit Berisha. I'm the Interim Landlord Accreditation Manager. I work within the PAL team. PAL stands for Partnership Accreditation for Landlords. It is a free landlord, letting agent and property accreditation scheme that was set up by Welwyn Hatfield Borough Council in partnership with University of Hertfordshire. The aim was to improve the standards of privately rented accommodations in the borough. The scheme currently has over 100 accredited landlords and 16 agents, which is constantly growing. To be assured of safe and decent accommodation, we recommend that all prospective tenants look out for the PAL logo. For more information, please visit our website.
Hi, I'm Sean and I work for Welwyn Hatfield Borough Council's waste team. Help us keep where you live clean and tidy for yourselves and for your neighbours. Please do not overfill your bins or leave waste next to it. Put the right materials in the right bin. Your recycling bin can be used for cardboard, glass, plastic bottles, tubs and cans. Please do not use it for food or plastic bags and film. Help us recycle right. You may be issued with fines if you do not do so. Do you know that if you're living in a property off campus with 4 or more residents, you can apply for a larger bin? You can check which is your bin collection day on our website.
Living away from home, especially for the first time, can be very exciting and it's easy to get caught up in the student lifestyle and forget about fire safety. Most fires that the fire and rescue services attend are in the kitchen, usually when cooking has been left unattended. If you've been drinking, give the cooking a miss. Get into the habit of closing doors, as closed fire doors can give you valuable time to escape. And finally, show your smoke alarm some love and test it on a regular basis. It could save your life. For more information on how to stay safe, visit Herts Fire and Rescue website.
Remember to keep yourself and your belongings safe, have fun and know who to call if you have a problem. Visit the website on screen for more information on who to call for what. We're here to help.
And thank you very much for that. So the next area we're going to talk a little bit now about what happens if it happens. It's very unfortunate. What happens if there is a wave of positive COVID-19 test results at the university? And Stuart, what's the kind of process following that if that was to happen?
Thanks, Brad. So just to give you a brief update, if there is a spike of cases on campus, the university has a very clear plan on how this will be escalated to ensure that there's minimal impact to learning, safety, or the health of the community on campus at the university and our wider community as well. We'll instantly work with local parties such as the health protection team and the local authority to ensure the test and trace system is activated and is activated in the right way. This will all happen within a 48-hour window, reducing the further transmission risk potential should that scenario happen. NHS Test and Trace will then contact all those affected to ensure that they commence their self-isolation to break the chain of transmission. Students will be contacted by the virtual learning environment and will be supported by the Dean of Students to ensure the welfare and safety is kept at the forefront of all decision making. Decisions will be made on a case-by-case basis on how better to proceed based on the advice of Public Health England, local medical expertise and our own health and safety teams on campus.
And I think that hopefully does reassure students that the university has got a very comprehensive plan in place if we was to have any cases on site. And I think just to let you know, if you do have any questions and you are putting them in the comments at the moment, my colleagues will be answering them in text responses. Today's coronavirus COVID-19 briefing is all about answering the frequently asked questions we've been asked a lot by students, and those specific ones relating to BRP, CAS, etc. will be answered by colleagues in the comments below. Just remember, if you are putting a query or a comment in the Facebook stream, do not put any personal details in there, and just direct messages with your personal information rather than putting it in the comments. Okay, so as we know that currently the UK government has a quarantine period in place for most international countries when they arrive in the UK. So one for you, Naomi. How does the international quarantine currently work, especially for those maybe who are on campus quarantining with us?
Okay, so depending where you're travelling from, you may be required to complete a 14-day quarantine period when you arrive in the UK. Now, UK guidance from the government is constantly being updated, so please check the current exemption list of countries not required to self-isolate upon arrival to see if this applies to you. You should check this on the day you travel to see if your country has been added or removed. This also needs to include any transit stops you may have made prior to the UK, to arriving in the UK. It's important to remember during quarantine that you must stay in your home. This may be your flat or your house or your studio. You can use shared facilities within the property. You're not just confined to your own bedroom. You must not have physical contact with anyone outside of your household bubble, however. You cannot leave your flat or house or studio for anything other than urgent medical assistance, or if there is an emergency such as a fire evacuation, which obviously you will need to leave your home. You will be given guidance on these processes upon arrival by either your landlord, letting agent or student accommodation team. Unfortunately, you cannot actually visit the shops when you're in quarantine, but you can order food in advance of arriving in the UK. For students living on campus, you can order food and essential items from the university by emailing uhvenues@herts.ac.uk. And there are 2 varieties of kitchen boxes that are available at the cost of £25 each. Prior to your arrival, you will need to look at UK government regulations on entering the UK. It will instruct that you complete a public health passenger locator form, which informs the UK test and trace system to help the fight against COVID-19. Failure to do this can result in a fine of £100 and potential refusal of entry into the actual border. It's important that you give the correct address in the correct format as well. Now, you must self-isolate for 14 days from the point you arrive in the UK if the country you're travelling from is not on the exemption list. You need to do this whether you have symptoms or not. If you develop symptoms during your quarantine period, then you must self-isolate for at least 10 days from the day your symptoms developed and until you're better and no longer have a high temperature. If you're tested and receive a negative result for coronavirus, you must continue to self-isolate until you've been in the UK for 14 days, even if your symptoms have gone. If you arrived in the UK more than 14 days ago, you do not need to continue self-isolation once you have had symptoms for 10 days and your temperature has returned to normal. Symptoms of a cough or changes to your sense of taste or smell can last for several weeks after the infection has actually gone, so you can stop self-isolating even if you still have these symptoms. When you are completing your normal 14-day quarantine, other members of your household do not need to self-isolate. Only the new arrival of the UK need to actually self-isolate. However, if you develop symptoms or members of your household, if you develop symptoms, all members of your household should then self-isolate for 14 days from the point that your symptoms start. If you develop new symptoms or your existing symptoms worsen within the 14 days of isolation period, then please contact NHS 111 again and follow their advice. Failure to undertake the quarantine period or self-isolation when requested is actually a criminal offence in the UK and is punishable with a fine of up to £10,000.
Thank you very much. That one, I think there's just some really important ones there that obviously it's really important that you do follow the UK guidance, the UK government's guidance and laws that have been put in place. And that's just to protect you, the wider public, and obviously to avoid breaking the law. So I think there's been a lot of changes both in the UK and around the world based on guidelines and laws that have come into place around coronavirus. So Shires, one for you. If you can just run the students through the current basic guidance for people in the UK. So what can students do and the general public do and not do whilst they're at uni?
Thanks, Brad. Just before I do answer that question, I think it's worth mentioning that the guidance does change regularly. So the information that I give now, could change over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks. So just as a bit of a caveat, in case anyone is watching this and think this is the final bit of guidance. So without further ado, the UK government's guidance does change regularly to match the current severity of the situation in the UK. They review what level of socialising is acceptable without compromising on public health. And the most up-to-date guidance advises that customers in private hire vehicles, taxis and public transport must wear face coverings. Customers in hospitality venues must wear face coverings except when seated at a table to eat or drink. Customers in shops and other indoor spaces must wear face coverings. Most hospitality venues will now close at 10 p.m. When meeting with people you don't live with, you can socialize in groups of up to 6. This is a legal limit. You should continue to maintain social distancing with anyone you do not live with. If you live in a household with more than 6 people, you can continue to socialize together. All venues should continue to accommodate groups larger than 6 who live together. There is much more guidance than what I've just mentioned, and I would encourage you to go to the UK government's website and read through all the information available there. Information is updated regularly, so please do make it a regular habit to check the guidance, as there may be fines for not adhering to the rules. Thank you, Brad. I'll pass back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Shires. And I think the key thing is not to be confused. The UK government has tried their best to make them as straightforward and simple as they can, but just make it into a habit of watching when there's a update from the UK government. There is often public announcements on the mainstream channels as well, and just making a habit of checking the UK Gov website for the latest changes. So my next question is for Stuart again. It's what happens if there is a local or national lockdown announced by the UK government? What happens?
Great, thanks, Brad. So just to answer that question, the university is continually monitoring and responding to the latest COVID-19 government advice and national guidelines. The latest UK government advice is available on the UK government website. As this guidance reflects the changeable local and national infection rates, we plan for many different scenarios to ensure the safety and support of our community on campus. For example, the provision to deliver courses online only if the local or national lockdown restrictions are imposed is an example of potential measure that we could put in place. What we really would encourage everyone to do is refer to the university's latest status update on the website for more information on what action to take if the government announces new restrictions. I think the key thing to emphasise is, as a university, we are prepared and we are there to, we've ensured that we have everything in place. Should whatever scenario should come up, we're able to respond to that and give you the best learning and living experience possible during your time with the University of Hertfordshire.
Thank you, Stuart. And just to remind everyone, the website is hearts.ac.uk/coronavirus, and you'll find a load of information there about not only the latest updates, but information in more detail about the track and trace system, the learning and teaching policies we've got in place, and as well as the new university student and staff charter. So the next one is for Shires, and I've just really quickly touched on learning and teaching there. So students might be concerned that their course is going to be wholly online. So what is being done to ensure that as much face-to-face teaching is happening as possible?
Thanks, Brad. That's a great question and one that we are getting very often at the moment. So I'll try my best to answer it as clearly as possible. So as a campus-based university, our emphasis is on face-to-face teaching, and this will continue while ensuring we are following national safety guidelines to provide a COVID-19 secure environment. Where required, we'll also be using technology to deliver rich and high-quality teaching through guided learning, live interactive sessions, or pre-recorded content to give the best possible student experience. Even if sessions are online, the university has invested in software which allow you to engage with your fellow classmates for discussions, group work, and seminars. So there will be plenty of opportunity to get to know your peers. Our goal is to provide you with our unique on-campus community experience, which puts your health and well-being first. To do so, we are introducing some additional safety measures to your face-to-face learning experience. Face-to-face timetable sessions will start promptly on the hour, so you will need to arrive 5 minutes before to make sure you are there on time, and you will need to leave the teaching spaces by 10 to the hour. This will allow time for a smooth changeover between classes and prevent crowding outside of the rooms. There will also be hand sanitization stations available and cleaning wipes for workspaces for use before and after the teaching session. It will also allow time for cleaning to take place. All staff and students have a personal responsibility to follow our recommended cleaning practices, observe social distancing requirements, and adhere to instructions displayed on safety signage around the campus. More information is available on our website.
Thank you very much for that, Shires. And I think the key thing to really touch on is that students should not be scared. They should not be panicking. We have put everything in place to make this an incredibly safe learning environment for our students. So the final question for Naomi in our Dean of Students office. A few students have asked this. Can students currently have visitors if they are living on campus?
So that's a really, really important question. And the answer is actually no. So there is currently a no guest policy on campus, which will be reviewed should government restrictions be relaxed, but this is going to be very, very unlikely in the next 6 months. We also have up to 13 students sharing accommodation in some places, which is an exception to the rule of 6. Therefore, these students can only socialise with the people that they live with. Now, if you live in off-campus accommodation, you're responsible for retaining a list of your visitors for 21 days, and this is for test and trace purposes.
Thank you very much for that. And I think the key thing that we're going to tell all students is if you are unsure about any of the guidance that the university has, please just ask the question. Speak to one of our team in the Dean of Students office, speak to our teams in the Ask Hearts Hub, or even speak to your academics when you're in session. It's really important. If you are unsure, just ask. So our final question today, before we bring to a close this coronavirus COVID-19 briefing, is for Stuart. And it's a real one just for students to really think about is, should I be worried at the moment about studying in the UK?
Thanks, Brad. So I think the key point to say is the UK is an incredibly safe place to study for higher education. The UK is a fantastic place with some of the best education providers in the world. We're leading in the way in research, in technology, business services, making this a great place to learn, but also to start your international career. We know that this is a really worrying time, or can be a worrying time for people, your friends, your family, but the UK government, local authorities and the university is doing everything it can to make you achieve the gold rated teaching we provide in the safest way possible. And I think we're really proud of the measures we've taken and really believe as a university we can offer you a safe and excellent teaching and learning experience and living experience while you're with us.
Thank you very much. So that concludes today's briefing. So thank you very much for joining us on today's COVID-19 briefing. Please take time to watch this short video by the UK government, sharing the importance of the message we have spoke about today and at the start of today's briefing, hands, face and space. I want to thank my colleagues Naomi, Stuart and Shayaz for their time today, as well as Kat and Chris who have been supporting with some of our questions. Thank you, stay safe, and we'll see you on campus very soon. Thank you.
As winter approaches, we'll be spending more time indoors. This will increase the risk of coronavirus spreading. The following reconstructions of everyday environments show why washing hands regularly, wearing a face covering, and keeping at least 2 meters apart is vital in controlling the spread. Coronavirus can live for more than 24 hours indoors. You could pick up or pass on the virus by touching a contaminated surface. Washing your hands with soap and water or using hand sanitizer regularly throughout the day will reduce the risk of catching or passing it on. Coronavirus can be found in tiny droplets coming out of your nose and mouth. Wearing a face covering over your nose and mouth reduces the spread of droplets carrying the virus. This means if you have it, you're less likely to pass it on to others. Larger droplets can land on other people or on surfaces they touch. Spreading the virus through droplets is most likely to happen when you are less than 2 meters apart. Smaller droplets, called aerosols, can stay in the air for some time, especially if there is no ventilation. So when you are with people not from your household, you must keep at least 2 meters apart. The risk of spreading the virus through smaller droplets is much less outdoors, where there is more ventilation. Wash your hands, cover your face, make space. These are the 3 most effective ways we can all control the spread of the virus. Remember, if you have any coronavirus symptoms, high temperature, a new continuous cough, or a loss or change in your sense of taste or smell, get a free test by calling 119 or visiting nhs.uk. Together, we will control the virus and stop the spread. Don't forget, hands, face, space.